Very good afternoon to all the ladies and gentlemen. Warm welcome for this call. In the first segment of this call, I'll be taking you through the earnings and the business highlights, and then we'll move on to a broad guidance for FY19, and finally we'll open up the floor for questions and answers. The full year top line for FY18 has grown from 3.43 billion to 3.96 billion rupees. The EBITDA has grown 8% from 1.53 billion to 1.65 billion rupees. The bottom line has grown 1% from 929 million to 936 million rupees. The company has seen a solid year of growth. In this year, we also made an acquisition of Enzyme Technologies GmbH. Enzyme is an investment into the future, and the company stands to gain immensely in the years to come in the form of a robust product line. However, in this particular financial year, we've seen a net loss due to Enzyme's acquisition to the tune of 140 million rupees, which includes about 80 million of operational loss and a 30 million of amortization expense and a 30 million loss due to foreign currency translation loss. Also, foreign currency has played a significant role in shaping our financials this year. It's a 4% negative impact due to rupee depreciation. I'm also, however, happy to announce to you that the company has successfully implemented SAP S4HANA at the standalone level and across its Indian subsidiaries in this financial year. The go live happened on 3rd of April 2018, and the FY19 financials will be presented from the new system. SAP implementation is going to help the company drive operational efficiencies, improve transparency, visibility and accountability. And in the near future, we'll of course also look at extending the implementation of SAP to our international subsidiaries. In terms of broad guidance for FY19, we foresee a top line in the range of 4.4 to 4.5 billion rupees, that is 440 to 450 crores, and EBITDA in the range of 1.9 to 1.95 billion, that is 190 to 195 crores, and a bottom line in the range of 1.1 to 1.15 billion rupees, that's 110 to 115 crores. All of this growth will be organic, and broadly 60% of this growth will come from the human nutrition segment, about 20% will come from animal nutrition, and another 20% will come from the bioprocessing sector. And with this, we'd now like to open up the call for questions.
Sure, thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on the touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Amar More from MK Global. Please go ahead.
Sir, thanks for the opportunity and congratulations for a very good set of numbers, sir. And sir, now if I see when we are talking about the guidance part, we are guiding around about 13 to 14% kind of top line growth, right? So I mean, are we not including any breakthrough from the R&D side in this year? Because I believe we have a couple of ready products also in Evox. So those are not going to contribute anything in this particular year?
Thank you, Amar, for your question. So these are the budgeted set of numbers, and this is our minimum commitment. However, we have not currently incorporated any positive upside from our R&D projects.
Okay. But then, sir, just like, I believe R&D is the core of this company. Now, looking to your current portfolio of the new acquisitions which you did, so is there, what should be a tentative timeline one should look that, by when a new product will see a contribution, some sort of contribution to the top line? Probably is this a 1 year time frame or 2 years time frame? Because there are a couple of good products which we can roll out much faster than the expected time.
Yeah, see, as a company policy, we do not speak on specific products. We have, of course, been talking about applications that we are focused on.
Correct.
One of the applications that we talked about in the past, which is palm oil, we do expect to see commercial revenues in FY20.
Okay.
However, nothing budgeted this year.
Okay. Okay. Yeah? Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Before we take the next question, we'd like to remind participants that you may press star and 1 to join the question queue. Next question is from Preetham Lunawat, who's an individual investor.
Good morning, sir. This is Preetham Lunawat from Pune. This is my first con call that I'm listening to. Can you brief me a little more about the acquisition that you've done and their products? You very well mentioned that in the coming years it will add to your top line and the bottom line, the acquisition. So can you just brief me a little more about this, sir?
Thank you, Preetham, for joining the call. I think your line was unclear. If you could just repeat the question.
Sir, I said the acquisition, the company that you acquired, can you just brief us a little more about it? This is my first con call that I'm attending, and I would want to know more about what the acquisition is and the product that they'll add to the company, the company's product portfolio.
This company, what we acquired, is a pure R&D company, and they have mastery in what we call a development of enzyme using, it's called directed revolution, means you playing God, creating any enzyme molecule as you wish to develop. And this is like 11-year-old company with a very large library of various enzymes and a technology to engineer an enzyme, totally brand new. Even like there are one ways you have a enzyme in the nature, already billions of enzymes in the nature. You develop, bring them and put into appropriate system to express them and develop get an enzyme output for use in the industry or in the nutrition. But the second way is to creatively design completely new enzyme. And this company has that platform, and that platform we acquired a number of people. Like we got almost 40 scientists from there. And that together is a very, very complementary skill set for our company, because we have expertise here also to do other aspects, and we can do develop the manufacturing setup. We can take it to market. We can do all other things. And this additional research knowledge is giving us a very completeness now going forward in next 10 years or next for our growth phase. So it's a very beautiful acquisition happened in the last year. We're very proud about it.
Last year I attended your AGM. I think the first AGM that you after your listing, and I was there. And you had mentioned the CAGR, growth rate. Sir, would you want to highlight something on that what for the next 3 years or 5 years, what kind of CAGR growth would Advanced Enzymes have, or you think it would have?
Yeah, Preetham, we have been in the past seeing about 14-15% top line growth, and in the range of basically somewhere 12, 13, 14, 15, 13, 14. So these are the ranges in which we have operated in the past, and we will continue to operate organically in these ranges. We have some novel projects which might contribute an upside to this.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you. Before we take the next question, a reminder once again to our participants that you may press star and 1 to join the question queue. Next, we have a follow-up question from Amar More from MK Global.
Yeah. Sir, thanks for the opportunity again. Sir, now, post this, the tax benefit which we got from US, so what should be the tax rate we should expect for financial year 19 and 20? And what would be the capex for next 2 years, sir?
So I think tax in US, it will be about 28%.
Okay.
So, from 39 to 28%, we are going to get significant benefit of this tax reduction. And CapEx, we are doing the detailing of that. But, as far as of day is concerned, we have planned only the normal capital expenditure planning. But then, detailed planning we are doing for some CapEx. So that I think we'll let you know at appropriate time.
Okay. And sir, so absolute at a console level, what would be the tax rate we should assume?
Tax rate on console basis, I think I'll just give you some brief. Give me a couple of minutes. And meanwhile, if you have any other questions, please.
No, sir. That's all.
So we'll give you the update about it.
Yeah.
So what will be the effective tax rate going forward, right?
Yeah, console tax rate if you can give.
Correct. We'll give you the summary.
Yeah.
Give a minute.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. About 29%.
About 29%, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but then, sir, is there any mismatch? Because last time we were saying that something in the range of 24-25%, and now is there?
No, another advantage now in India also, because the tax rate has gone down.
Okay.
And apart from that, what has happened, some tax benefits like, in SEZ, we were getting, the benefit. So that benefit will not be there going forward. And apart from that, R&D benefit which used to be there, so 200%, weighted deduction was there.
Correct.
That benefit will also be, now it has reduced to 150%.
Correct.
So there are a couple of things, and, because of that, this tax rate is different now.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Next question is from Sarvanam Vishwanathan from Unifi Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for taking my question, sir. So FY19, given the currency movement, what has happened in the first quarter, how are we placed, sir? Are we going to hedge anything, or how are we going to handle it?
So, we do some forward, sell-in forward.
Yeah.
And apart from that, we avail packing credit limits as far as, our exports from India is concerned.
Yeah.
And other than that, the exports like from the USA is in local currency, EVOX is again doing their business in local currency. So my exposure from India is in terms of my exports to US and other countries. So that, we always use packing credit in foreign currency. And in addition to that, we do sell some, FX in forward. So we just hedge to some extent. This is about 25-30% hedging, and then apart from that, packing credit we avail.
So we will also have some imports, right? So on a net basis, you will hedge about 25%.
Yeah, right. We do have imports. Absolutely.
Okay. And what was the EBITDA range that you had mentioned for FY19?
190 to 195 crores.
Okay. And what are the, key risks according to you? As such, you have given very normal projections. So, but what are the key risks? Because FY18, we didn't see that much growth. So, given that, what is the key risk to these assumptions? Is it any customer concentration or some cancellation of orders? Is it those sort of things, or do you see any other risk?
In this case,
no, we do not see any particular risk in this particular projection.
There could be some upside, but there could be some more upside because the projections are given to you are on a normal basis, and there could be something which has been going on may give some positive upside in the process.
Okay. Thank you. For FY19, do we have any specific product launches in mind? Or is it going to be whatever products we have in FY18, only that will, you'll try to focus on that, or any product launches we have planned for this year?
There are some new customer acquisitions, and as you know, every customer when we work with, we do develop, we do create a product to suit, we do customization to each one. So those we don't call product launch. Once we get a new customer, we have to give a suitable, tailor-made solution for their output. So that we don't call a product launch because we don't do a product launch for everybody. It's only customer to customer. So naturally there will be new products into our basket, but that we don't call it product launch.
Understood. So as you have, if it is customer level specified customized products, all those projects would have got started already, right? If you're going to add new customers, the engagement would have started maybe a couple of quarters or even a year back.
Of course, a few years back, not just a year back. Normally, few years they take now.
Okay. Yeah. So given that, so you may have some visibility. So you have about 700 plus customers now. So do you plan to add more customers in FY19?
That's, any business, we always like to add more customers.
Yeah.
And we do but these are all, we are always cautious because, you never can predict how the new customer will behave, what will be his buying pattern. Sometimes they suddenly buy large, but these are small numbers, so we don't want to write down any comment or anything on that aspect. Let things stabilize and.
Sarva, typically a sales cycle is about a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah.
So many of the clients are already in that sales process, at the beginning of the funnel. So definitely we'll see some new customer addition, but they may not contribute enormously to the revenue growth.
Understood. And if in your presentation there's a slide for top customer trend analysis. So when 81 crores is.
This is, yes, of course, in INR, right? In dollar terms, the customer has grown about 7-8%. Sharvana, are you still online?
We seem to have lost the line for Sarvana. We'll move to the next question. The next question is from Shivan Sarvaya from JHP Securities. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Hi, Shivan.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, there were these news articles saying that structured debt has been raised from Avendus. Has the company raised it or the promoters have raised that? There was a confusion basically in the articles.
No, it's at the promoter level.
Sorry?
It's at the promoter level.
Okay. So there's nothing to do with the company out here?
No, the company is a net zero debt company.
Okay. And sir, if you could tell me the revenue contribution of JC Biotech during this year and the year before this?
JC Biotech was about, so last year we didn't have full consolidation, right? It was only about 4 months.
Correct.
So revenue for Advanced Enzyme consolidated was about 15.5 crores. Okay. This year we've had a full year consolidation and revenues from JC Biotech have been 40.5 crores.
40.5 crores.
Yeah, 205 million.
Okay. Sir, then on the same thing, sir, if I see the revenues ex JC Biotech, then there is not much growth that has been coming in from the old business, sir. So your view on that and what is the company's strategy to increase growth? Are we facing some competition in certain product lines?
This is the nature of our business. This year, I think about 29, so compared to last year, we've seen about 25 odd crore of incremental growth from JC, right? Some growth has come on account of Evox acquisition and the rest, so 11 crore has come from Evox and the rest has been organic growth.
Okay, sir. Sir, and one more question that I had was on the pledging of shares, sir. The pledging of shares has increased from 26% last year to about 40% this year. So what has been the reason for this and is the management is it working on reducing the same?
Yes, it's an active outlook towards reducing the overall pledge levels.
So, sir, any target for the year?
Nothing concrete that we can comment on, but definitely the promoters are looking at reducing the pledge level.
Okay, sir. And so the research cost during the quarter?
During this particular quarter?
Yes.
Usually it's very stable, so we've had
45 million.
45 million is the research cost this quarter.
Okay, sir. And this is going to be increasing going forward? I guess it was said in the last con call that it is going to be in the range of 5.5% to 6% or something.
EVOX is R&D also.
So EVOX is R&D, right? So this is also including EVOX. This is likely to remain.
This is
excluding EVOX.
Okay, sir. And my last question was on the different segments of our revenue. So we've seen animal feed and the food business, the contribution to the sales has been going down every quarter in this year. So what is it a management strategy to reduce concentration here, or is it because of some stiff competition that we are seeing?
It's a part of the growth cycle. You increase and then you consolidate and again then you increase. So this is more like the consolidation phase. We expect to grow in these segments also going forward.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. If I have some questions, I'll come back.
Sure. Thanks.
Thank you. Next question is from Jigar Jani from Edelweiss. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for taking my question and congratulations on a great set of numbers. Sir, sir, regarding EVOX, is it completely R&D or do we do some sales of products also from EVOX?
We do sales of products as well. And now we will increase the sales of, so there are some products which are based out of EVOX product line, and the AETL product line also will be added going forward. So both efforts are on.
Okay, so sir, any tentative plan as to when it will break even, maybe at the profitability level, EVOX?
On a standalone level, we expect the EBITDA to be positive in the second half of this year.
Okay.
So EVOX will contribute.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
Contribute towards a very robust product line for the company, and several projects will be taken up within EVOX, which will complement the AETL's developmental strength.
Right, sir, right. And what was EVOX sales and profitability, if you could share, for the last year?
In the console numbers, you mean last year as in the last financial year, or this year of consolidation?
That is FY18.
FY18, we've had top line of 11 crores.
Yeah.
And overall, the EBITDA has been negative to the extent of 9 crores.
Okay. And this includes how many months of consolidation?
7.5 months.
7.5 months. Okay.
But it's not linear, not necessarily linear.
Oh, okay. So it's not, it's bulky in nature.
Right.
Okay. So any guidance for this year? What are we expecting from EVOX in terms of sales?
EVOX, the top line should be in the range of 22 to 25 crores overall.
Yeah, and we should be near EBITDA break-even.
We should be near EBITDA even. The second half will be break-even on a standalone basis. The first half we still see some residual losses or residual, kind of expenses which are bound, which will get basically cut off by Q2 of this year.
Right, sir, right. And sir, I think Novozymes in their annual report has highlighted that they have launched Palmora, which is a product for increasing palm oil yields, which they launched this year. So do we see any competition to our product that we are likely to launch because of that?
No, so we are, I think, we are both in this particular market.
So you see enough scope for us also to grow?
Absolutely.
So it's not like they get the first mover advantage and...
so we are also first movers in that sense.
So we have launched the product for palm oil yields in the markets?
We are in similar phases of commercialization right now.
Okay, understood, sir. And sir, I think this is a follow-up to the earlier question. If I look at your yearly numbers for FY16, 17 and 18, your animal nutrition and food business has been largely growing at 3-4%, whereas human nutrition and industrial have grown at around 16 and 20% CAGR basis. So any particular reason why, because I remember when we met last about a year back, we were focusing a lot on animal nutrition as a field, and we saw great prospects in animal feed business per se. But that doesn't seem to have taken off. Any particular reason why that is still being a low growth area for us?
Yeah, we've seen a phase of consolidation for the last couple of years. We are definitely expecting growth this year and forward.
Okay. And sir, regarding the pledge, what is this personal reasons why there is a pledge, or what is the reason for so much pledging in the company with promoters?
It has been personal reasons.
Okay, understood. Okay. And the structured debt that has been raised is again for some investment which is in the related field, or it is completely unrelated to the enzyme industry?
It has been basically a refinance, Shivan.
Okay, it's a refinance. Okay, understood. Okay, sir. Thanks. I'll get back in the queue in case I have other questions.
Thank you. The next question is from Rohit Sinha from MK Global. Please go ahead.
Thank you for taking my question, sir. Just one question that the interest cost has jumped significantly for this year, for this quarter. So this is basically because of rise in debt, or there is some currency impact also. And if is there any currency impact, what would be the quantum?
This is primarily on account of the major growth is on account of currency impact. The impact is about 3 crores. Yeah. 30 million.
30 million is because of currency.
30 out of 45 million is basically due to currency.
Okay, fine. And if we look at the balance sheet, this year cash is quite high as compared to last year. But is there any increase in other income we could see in next year because of higher cash on the books?
Sorry, could you come again regarding the question?
Income on the cash.
So basically this cash which we are seeing in the balance sheet, it is on the standalone or in subsidiary segment?
It's on a consolidated basis.
But in which subsidiary or?
It's in the US subsidiaries.
Sorry?
It's in our US subsidiaries.
Okay, US subsidiary. So where we are looking to deploy this cash, and how this will be utilized?
I'm happy to also announce that Mr. VL Rathi is also on the call, our chairman, Mr. VL Rathi.
Okay.
And I'd just like to pass on the question to him.
Hello. Yeah, so, hello.
Can I hear again, please? Hello?
So my question was just that the cash which is there in the books, so how that cash would be utilized, and okay, and is there any chances of dividend there?
No, we don't pay any dividend there. It is a 100% subsidiary of
sorry to interrupt you, Mr. VL Rathi, but we can't really hear you very clearly. If you could maybe speak a little louder or closer to the mic.
Yeah, I will. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So basically, fundamentally, cash is going to be used into more R&D for the application lab and for the future growth.
Okay. So any acquisition we can expect? Any acquisition we can expect in the future?
Yeah, of course, because is thing when the growth is like in enzyme business when the growth is happening, you are working with the customers to make it their expectations and their requirements. So we needed to have a lot more expansion in that area. Since we are looking futuristically of how we can consistently follow the higher and higher growth. So this cash will be deployed.
Okay. That's all from my side.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question is from Dubey Rex from iThought Financial. Please go ahead.
My question has been answered. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move to the next question. The next question is from Madhusudan J. from Florentry Advisors.
Hello.
Hi.
I had a couple of questions here. One, I just wanted to understand what is going to lead to the EBITDA margin expansion next year on, because you're clearly projecting a 130-140 bips increase in EBITDA margin compared to this financial year. I was just trying to understand where is that coming in from.
No, this is a normal course of business. If you see our EBITDA margin was last year 45%.
Yeah.
We're down to 42%. So it's that 40 to 45% range is a normal for us, for our business.
Yeah, but so what are the key drivers? Is the Evox cost going to go down, the spend there is going to go down, or is it that the growth is going to come from the high margin product on the human nutrition side? I just wanted
some is a product mix effect, and some, of course, we expect the EBITDA, some cost to go down in Evox.
Okay. And any more granularity on where is the 60% growth going to come from on the human nutrition side? Is it India, US, and what is it the contribution from the top customer that you're expecting, something like that?
It's a mix of both geographies overall.
Okay, so can I assume that basically there'll be growth on the JC Biotech revenues as well, and growth from the top customer as well in that case?
No, not necessarily. It's overall growth across both the geographies, across the product line that we have in both the geographies.
Sure.
So it's not attributed only to one customer or to one product.
I get it. Thanks.
Thank
That's
you.
it from my side, yeah.
Thank you. Next, we have a follow-up question from Sarvanam Vishwanathan from Unifi Capital. Please go ahead.
Thanks again, sir. As regards capacity, how are we placed? So when is the next capacity addition that we have to plan?
At the moment, nothing that's planned, Sarvana.
Not for this year.
So in the next 2 years, we are well placed on capacity front. We can next 2 years revenues can be achieved with the current capacity.
Yes.
Okay. And so do we have any defined R&D budget, or how does that part work?
Yes, we have been following our R&D budgets. So
what is it a percentage of the sales, or how is it normally?
More on absolute number basis. In India, we have about 10 odd crores which we expend in R&D.
Yeah.
And now Evox will primarily contribute again towards R&D expenditure.
Okay, so that's all getting expended in P&L, right?
Yes.
Fine. Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. Next question is from Sivan Sarvaya from JHP Securities. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Hi, Shivan.
Yes, sir. So I believe we've got a small B2C business in US in the nutraceutical space, which contributes around 10% of revenues. So any plan to scale that up?
So, Shivan, it's about 3% of our revenues, of our console revenues.
Okay.
And I would just like to hand over the call to Mr. VL Rathi to answer this question.
Shiva, repeat your question, please.
So my question was on the small B2C business that we have in the US nutraceutical space. So are we looking at scaling that up?
Yes. So short answer to your question is yes. That is one of our primary areas. In US, when you go from B2C, it takes little time, more distribution, expansion of the distributing area, etc., etc. But to answer your questions, which will be scaling up.
Okay, so any guidance on the way, a broad guidance, not a specific one, what would be the revenue contribution of this B2C business?
I cannot give you a definite answer, but you will see that revenue contribution will be increased significantly.
Okay. And to the folks in India, are we looking at doing the same thing in India too, in the B2C space?
We do not have any plans in India.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question is from Amar More from MK Global. Please go ahead.
This question is for VL sir. VL sir, are you on the call? Hello?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. So, sir, now, being a chairman of the company, just wanted to understand what is our dividend policy going forward. We are generating a phenomenal amount of cash. We don't need capex at least for another 3-4 years, except that we get some piece of acquisition. So is that we are going to plan something? Can investors expect some good amount of dividend going forward?
Dividend policy is going to be consistent like what we are doing. Yes, sir, we increase the dividend by 25%. So you can expect some growth in the dividend.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question is from Madhusudan J. from Florent Tree Advisors. Please go ahead.
Sir, I just wanted to understand a little bit more about the B2C business in the U.S. If you could just share some information on the modalities of the business. Are you selling branded products over to the consumer, to distributors, or how is that happening? And is it specifically in the digestive enzyme space?
Looks like you're directing the question to me.
Yeah. So I just wanted to understand the modalities of the B2C business in the U.S. that is happening. So is it that you're selling branded products directly to the consumer, and is it more specifically in the digestive enzyme space?
Yes, your question is the answer to your question is correct. It's a digestive product. There are also systemic products, which are basically better health, not necessarily only digest. Okay, and that is we see as a bigger market. Okay, digestive area is a defined market. Healthcare is a bigger market. So our B2C will be more into the other areas. Health.
So if I have to look up the products or something, is it put up on your website? Is it shared anywhere in the annual report?
There is a website you can look into called ASP Enzyme, which is the B2C area, and you can take it.
Sure. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Before we take the next question, a reminder once again to our participants that you may press star and 1 to join the question queue. Next question is from Rishi K. from India Capital. Please go ahead.
As per your recent presentation, hello.
Yeah, hi.
Hi. Your revenue in the food sector has gone down by 40%. From the market sources, we have learned that a lot of other unorganized guys or some of the other guys are growing in this particular field. Even in the animal, it was down by 3% in the last quarter. What are the specific reasons? If you can just mention here that revenue in the food business is going down by 10% and the market is going by around 12-13%.
So these are phases of consolidation, which we, of course, intend to grow going forward.
Okay. So any new product development in the food sector basically which is growing
really fast?
Growing, did you ask the question about fast growth in food segment or animal nutrition?
Food sector, sir.
Food sector is reasonably stable. Our expansion is primarily internationally. In India, the food processing market is relatively smaller.
Okay. And how big is our R&D team, sir, and how much is our R&D expenditure we plan to do in the next 2 years?
So currently our R&D team is around 85 to 90 scientists. Bulk of that, about 60 odd scientists are in India and about 25 scientists now in Germany. And R&D expenditure we expect to be in the range of 25 crores annually going forward. And this includes the expenditure in eVox as well.
Okay. So, you're saying with a lot of cash, any plans to do the buyback at a lower prices?
Did you ask about buyback? Sorry, the question was not so clear.
Yeah, buyback.
No, we have no such plans as of now.
Okay. So from my side, I will come back in the future.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 at this time. Next, we have a follow-up question from Jigar Jani from Edelweiss. Please go ahead.
Thanks for the opportunity, sir, for the follow-up. Sir, what are our plans for JC Biotech for FY19? What kind of growth are we expecting?
Do you mean standalone, Jigar?
For JC Biotech.
Yeah, do you mean at standalone level or overall in a console basis?
Just for JC Biotech as it is.
So JC, we expect the revenues to grow about 15-16% on a standalone basis.
So on 40 crores, you expect a 15% growth is what you're saying?
Yeah, so we expect around 46 odd crores.
Okay. So that means that you're expecting around 11 crores from expansion in eVox and around 6 crores in JC. So that base business growth eventually comes to around 11% based on your guidance. Any particular reason why it is so low? I mean, we are not expecting any new, because this is kind of a growth that you could expect on a normal business without any product additions or any new customer acquisitions. So are we being very conservative in our projections right now?
Yeah, we are being conservative in our projections.
Okay. And sir, this 4% negative impact of FX, what would have been the impact on the operating profitability? I believe this is on sales that you were talking about 4% impact.
Yeah, overall, because wherever we have dollar revenues and dollar EBITDA or dollar-based PAT margin, that is, of course, so that's impacted with this 4% negative accounting.
So 4% is on profitability as well?
Yeah, US-based profits, for example, would be, because of the rupee appreciation, would be 4% lower, right? Or so they would otherwise have been higher by 4%.
So you are saying these are all translational losses?
Correct.
Okay, so nothing is transactional in nature. That is all hedged.
Correct.
Right? Okay, understood. Okay. And sir, regarding, apart from palm oil, any other new areas that you are keen on exploring maybe over the next 2-3 years?
No, these are the areas that we've already talked about.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you very much. Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks.
Thank you. Next question is from Sivan Sarvaiya from JHP Securities. Please go ahead.
Sir, I had read that the biofuels market in the US is doing extremely well. But when I see our financials, I saw that in October 17, we had dissolved one of the subsidiaries, Enzyme Fuels. So what was the reason for this?
It was a non-operating subsidiary, and maybe I can request Mr. Veelrati to shed some more light on that.
At the time, we were looking at biofuel area as a growth category there in US. However, the way definitions of biofuel in US markets are, we figured that is not an area which can grow as we want and the resources we want to put in. And so we withdrew from it.
Okay, because I read in the Novozymes annual report that they are doing extremely well in the biofuels sector in the USA. So is it because of stiff competition from them?
I don't know at this time because we are not very active in the biofuel area in US.
Okay, so thank you. Yeah, that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else who wishes to ask a question, please press star and 1. As there are no further questions, I'd like to hand the conference back to Mr. Piyush for closing comments.
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining our call today, and we hope to present such a robust set of numbers in the quarters going forward. Have a good day. Thank you.